X-Men Annual 4. It's Kurt's birthday and everyone's having fun except Kitty. She's not comfortable here yet, and she's not comfortable with Kurt yet because he's a blue demon man. Kurt opens a gift and it's a crystal figure of himself. No one knows who it's from, but it blows up in his face, which knocks him out. They take him to the med lab and they're positive that he's dead. And now that Scott's gone and Storm's leading the team, she feels terrible about losing a team member this way. Charles calls Doctor Strange to come over and make sure something mystical hasn't happened to Kurt. And Strange reveals that Kurt's soul has been stolen. Then, a demon woman, Margali Sardush, appears behind them to stop Strange from meddling in the issue. She summons a demon and they fight while Storm, Kitty, and the Professor book it out of there. But it gets Storm, and it freezes her body while leeching her strength so she can't even use her powers against it. And the door slams shut and the room goes silent. Kitty takes a peek inside to see if they're still in there, but they've gone. They wake up at the gates of hell, and Nightcrawler's awake too. Doctor Strange recognizes the gates as described in Dante's Inferno. They enter because the only way out of hell is to descend to the very bottom, and they're faced with the River Akron, and a man on a boat approaches them to say they can all leave now if they agree to just abandon Kurt here, which of course they do not. He gets them across the river, and then they meet another guy named Minos, who Doctor Strange knows to be the guardian of the gates of hell. Minos hits on Aurora, and she's disgusted. Then he hits on Kurt and makes everyone uncomfortable, and he's like, what's the problem? This is hell. Anything goes. Then he tells Kurt that he's here because he's broken a moral law and now he must be punished. A tentacle grabs him and whips him out of there, and Storm chases after him. She catches him, but they find themselves in the second circle of hell, and the winds here are hurricane-like, and they're under attack by these flying demon women. Storm has to let Kurt teleport to safety, so she punches a hole through the hurricane winds to give Kurt a clear view of Minos' place to teleport back, and he's safe, but Storm gets stabbed in the back. Nightcrawler feels terrible for dragging them into all this, and Doctor Strange suspects that something is not right here. This is not the real hell. Anyway, they leave. They go looking for Aurora, traveling through the third, fourth, and fifth circles of hell. The fifth circle is for the wrathful, and Wolverine looks into the swamp of suffering souls, and he's like, I could end up here someday. Doctor Strange wants answers, so he asks Kurt who Margali is and why she hates him, and he tells everyone Margali is his stepmom and that he killed her son, his own brother. And before he can give more details, they're under attack again. They basically get their asses kicked for a while before Colossus finds a gate and pries it open, which is further proof to Strange that this isn't the real hell, because supposedly only one being is supposed to be able to open the gates by force, and it is not Piotr. Anyway, they're in the 8th circle of hell now, and Strange tells them that this is where Pandora's con artists and thieves go, and Wolverine realizes, thieves! This is where Storm is! She was a thief on the streets of Cairo as a little girl. And he's right, she's down there. Kurt teleports down to get her, but she's not the Aurora they know. Kurt is shook as she attacks him, but Strange grabs her and sees that it isn't her. Wolverine uses his nose and sniffs out a serpent, which is Aurora. It must have bit her and switched bodies with her, so they let the serpent Storm bite the demon back, and they switch again. Back now to their trek through hell, and in the 9th circle, Nightcrawler gets frozen in ice out of nowhere. Colossus frees him, and Satan gets real mad about it. But Strange is like, that is not Satan, and he uses magic to reveal her as Margali Sardush. But she's like, why are any of you here? Which is weird because they all thought she brought them here. But her daughter, Jermaine, aka Kurt's stepsister, posed as her to get them here to save Kurt because she loves him. So, Margali did send the crystal statue that brought Nightcrawler here, but the rest was all Jermaine. Anyway, Margali is pissed and she turns Jermaine into ice. Then she tells them they're all free to go if Nightcrawler yields to her, and of course he wants his friends to be safe, so he does. But Colossus is like, no, I'm not going anywhere. This is my friend, and I don't believe any of you when you say that he killed his stepbrother. So Doctor Strange is like, okay, let's use the Eye of Agamotto to get the truth. And Margali's cool with this idea, so they do. So, what happened was, Kurt and his brother swore a blood oath because the brother could feel himself turning evil. And so he told Kurt to kill him if he ever took a life. Which of course he did, so Nightcrawler killed him. They fought and Kurt snapped his neck. Not really on purpose, but I mean, they were fighting to the death. So, when the villagers saw this, they chased him into the streets trying to kill him. That's when Professor X found his ass and brought him to the school. So, with that knowledge, Margali brings them back to the mansion. She turns Jermaine back into a living woman. She feels bad that she knows the whole story now. She created that whole fake-ass Dante's Inferno to imprison him for nothing. So yeah, quite the overreaction. Then Kurt's stepsister Jermaine is like, "Hey, sexy, remember me? I've actually been watching you here this whole time, posing as Amanda Sefton, your girlfriend." She's like, "I'd fuck you right here, but I didn't want to set a bad example for Kitty." And everyone is so happy that Kurt has been fucking his sister this entire time. What better birthday gift could a guy ask for? Shit is wild.